Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. The summer sun hadn't broken through the clouds much this afternoon as the couple drove their e-bikes along the Kootenay River. Their tires hummed over packed earth and scattered pine needles as swallows darted overhead. A soft breeze stirred the tall grasses edging the trail, and the scent of warm cedar mixed with the earthy perfume of summertime. He followed not far behind her, their conversation lost to the steady hum of electric motors and wheels. To the west, the forest rose in dense walls of fir and hemlock. To the east, glimpses of the river flickered through the willows and wild rose thickets, giving way to farmland and fields. Everything was peaceful in that bucolic sense, but that wouldn't last long. His scream broke the quiet and increased in shrillness and terror. The woman glanced up, thinking that his alarm was to warn her, and in a way it was. Her vision was filled with the sight of a grizzly bear busting from the brush and streaking toward her in bounds that covered several yards each. Glancing back toward her husband, she could see a second grizzly had already pulled him to the ground, and now his scream made more sense. Reaching toward her bear spray, the woman tried to make sense of what was going on. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Tucked between the Selkirk Mountains and the floodplain of the Kootenay River, the West Creston area of British Columbia offers a deceptively peaceful landscape of wetlands, conifer forests, and dense thickets. This fertile region, marked by a humid continental climate, supports towering western red cedar, Doug fir, and western hemlock trees. Beneath their canopy grow thick patches of devil's club, wild rose, and red-osier dogwood. In the summer months, bushes of saskatoon, thimbleberry, and black huckleberry lure in wildlife ranging from birds to bears. Large plant-eating animals such as moose, elk, and white-tailed deer browse through the area, while predators like cougars, wolves, and black bears stalk the undergrowth. But most imposing of all is the unpredictable and highly intelligent grizzly bear. On Saturday, July 26, 2025, at around 4:30 p.m., a couple was enjoying the summer sunshine while e-biking along a gravel trail near the riverbank. The trail they followed winds through a mix of forest and open wetland meadows, a favorite haunt for foraging bears this time of year. The man, whom we will call Barry, followed a few yards behind the woman, whom we will call Betty. Their ride was enjoyable and relaxing, that is, until the Grizzlies showed up. As the couple rounded a bend in the trail that parted thick brush, Betty looked up just in time to see a grizzly bear running toward her. The charging animal closed the distance rapidly, but the woman reacted with astonishing decisiveness. Now Betty and Barry had thought things through, and unlike most people, had decided to purchase a can of bear spray for their trip. They'd likely heard of the recent spate of attacks in the area, and decided it was worth the peace of mind, and right about now, that decision would prove pivotal. Flicking off the trigger guard, Betty drew down on the grizzly approaching her from the front. As she depressed the trigger, a cloud of orange irritant billowed out between her and the bear. As soon as the stinging and burning sensation kicked in, that grizzly diverted its path and disappeared into the brush nearby. Having had more excitement than she bargained for on her bike ride, Betty turned toward Barry. The scene probably took seconds to set in as she saw a second grizzly hunkered over him as he lay on the ground. The bear was slashing and biting, trying to subdue the man as if he were a prized prey animal. Barry's terrified screams moved Betty to dash toward the bear and douse it with bear spray, just as she had the first bear. Now coughing and gagging, the second grizzly turned tail and ran into the bushes, leaving Barry bitten, battered, and bleeding. His wounds were overwhelming to Betty, and she hurriedly called for emergency medical services on her cell phone. It wasn't long before first responders arrived and applied bandages to slow Barry's bleeding. They loaded him into the ambulance and sped toward the hospital in Cranbrook, about 40 miles away. While surgeons operated on Barry, cleaning and closing his numerous serious wounds, conservation officers interviewed Betty. Royal Canadian Mounted Police and British Columbia conservation officers rallied to the attack location and began combing the brush and forests nearby. Their search was unsuccessful in locating the bears, so, as a precaution, they closed 3 trail systems leading through the area. Although the specific motivations of the bears remain unclear, the context offers a few clues. Grizzlies are highly food motivated in early summer. The Kootenay River corridor is rich with sedges, roots, and berries, natural food sources that can draw multiple bears into proximity. Given the suddenness of the encounter and the presence of 2 bears, it's possible that the pair was startled while foraging or defending a food source. Another possibility is that the bears were a mother and nearly full-grown cub, acting in tandem. No carcass or cubs were reported near the scene. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon linked below will give you ad-free early access to episodes, photos, and notes. And the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. British Columbia is home to one of the largest grizzly bear populations in North America, estimated at more than 15,000 individuals. The province spans roughly 364,000 square miles, which puts the average grizzly bear density at around 1 bear for every 24 square miles. However, that number increases significantly in key hotspots like the Kootenay region. Creston and the adjacent wetlands sit on a migratory corridor and foraging zone, which makes bear encounters relatively more common. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. What caused the bears to act so aggressively, and were they acting together by coincidence or as a unit? Could trail design or public signage better warn visitors about high bear activity zones during peak foraging months? Will you be checking over your shoulder next time you find yourself on the trail? I know I will be. I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.